morning. I'm Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Jacqueline Waters, here for another episode of Weather University. It's been quite a few weeks because we've been doing it every other week. And also, I think 2 weeks ago was Memorial Day. So it's been quite some time. So we have a lot to talk about today. And it's going to be summer in today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days. So first I figured we would start with the summer solstice. Not my favorite. I think you all could probably guess my favorite season, and it's not summer, it is fall. So it's not something I'm looking super forward to, but hopefully everyone's excited for summer to begin in just 4 days. And also, make sure you answer, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to do so. I have the comments pulled up on my phone, so if I look down, it's just making sure I'm not missing any comments. But yeah, summer starts Friday, and it's finally going to start to really feel like summer out there with that heat and humidity. And I know we have a few different ways that we usually use as like a timeline to start off summer. Some people say Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. In the meteorology world, we use the meteorological seasons. So summer technically begins June 1st, June, July, August, and then fall season is June, July, August, September, October, November. I almost forgot the months there. So we use a lot of different things, but on our calendars, summer officially starts June 20th. It's called the summer solstice, and obviously the Earth's axis is tilted 23.5 degrees, and the summer solstice marks the longest day and shortest night in the northern hemisphere. And now that's the opposite for the southern hemisphere because the southern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. So the seasons are all just related to the Earth's tilt, which I really love. Oh, I must have. Okay, there we go. I went a little bit too fast there, but real quickly to show you the other seasons, you have I guess it might not go. The autumnal equinox, you have the vernal equinox, and then the winter solstice as well. But all related to the Earth's tilt, which is pretty fun if you ask me. It's been pretty wet. Definitely, we've seen the last several weekends, I probably should have looked this up. It's been wet. It's been pretty dreary. Even this morning, we had like drizzle and mist around and still have some of that around. And we haven't really seen that much rain at the Richmond International Airport. I know some of us yesterday got close to 2 to 3 inches, even some areas upwards of 4 inches of rain, really south of Petersburg. But at Richmond International Airport, we only got 0.4 inches yesterday, and so far this month, we've got 1.59 inches, which is actually below average for where we should be in the middle of June. So usually this time, we're at about 2.26 inches in June, and we're running a little bit below that. So far this year, we've gotten 24.2 inches of rain, and usually we're at about 19.28 inches of rain, and that's putting us above average for the year so far. So we're just about 5 inches above average, and I guess now we're halfway through the year. That's hard to believe. I feel like it was just 2024, but now it's June. We're halfway through, and we are more than halfway at our normal yearly rainfall, which are normally normal. I swear I could speak. Normal yearly rainfall is 45.5. So we're running above average there as well. And now to talk about the temperatures, because that's what I'll be talking about really the rest of this episode. It's been it was a cool finish to May and a cool start to June. We've had quite a few above average days last week, and then the first week of June above average Friday and also the weekend. But yesterday was below average, today will be below average, and then we are really going to start to see those seasonable temperatures tomorrow and above average temperatures Wednesday and Thursday. So if you've been waiting for the heat and humidity, you are in luck. I know a lot of us are not fans of the heat and humidity, myself included, and it's around the next several days. We'll be in that humid category today to even that tropical category. No tropical update, so I'll show you that at the end. There's nothing in the tropics we're watching. It's just something we call that humidity level, and that humidity level is from 70 degrees to 75 degrees, where it's in that tropical category. So very humid tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday will drop down a bit. Still going to be humid, but not tropical or unbearable. And then that humidity spikes back up for the end of the weekend. So triple-digit heat indices are on the way because tomorrow, temperatures are back to seasonable, so we won't see triple-digit heat indices tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday we will. So Wednesday and Thursday, our high temperatures will be in the low to mid-90s. Our average high, by the way, this time of year, 86 degrees. So, I mean, we're going to be about 10 degrees below that today. And above that, Wednesday, Thursday, closer to seasonable for Friday, and then back to above average temperatures for finally a dry weekend. I'll show you that on the 8-day. But also, I mean, above average, 95 Sunday, 95 on Monday, and more triple-digit heat indices will return by the end of the weekend into next week. So here's basically temperature and humidity combined. It's what we call heat index, and I'll explain more coming up. But today, not really dealing with a heat index whatsoever. Tomorrow, we are going to be dealing with that heat index because that humidity will ramp up. So we'll be feeling like the mid to upper 90s tomorrow when you factor in that humidity, but temperatures will be near seasonable. So it won't be super unbearable, but it will definitely be sticky and hot out there. And then Wednesday and Thursday with those above average high temperatures, you factor in that humidity, heat indices will likely be in the triple digits. And then also for the end of the weekend, Sunday and Monday. So something we are watching, something to keep in mind this time of year because, I mean, it is June, and this is when we get the hot weather in Richmond and Virginia. So what is heat index? So I say heat indices because that's the proper way of saying it plural, by the way. You could technically say heat indexes too. I just feel like heat indices sounds better. But yeah, that's why I say it that way. So what is heat index? Heat index basically combines temperature and humidity. And we know our body gets rid of basically... what's a good way to say this? We sweat to cool our bodies. So when you have high humidity, a lot of that sweat doesn't come out. So with drier air, your body, it allows basically moisture to evaporate from your body, which cools the body. When you have more moisture and higher humidity, it limits us from sweating, which makes it uncomfortable. So that's really what heat index means. I know we talk a lot about it in summer, in this time of year, so figured I would just show that. And here's just some fun graphics going with that. But speaking of heat index, so obviously it depends on our air temperature. If you have a really humid atmosphere and your temperatures are only at 80, it's not going to be unbearable. So this is a heat index graphic with an air temperature of 80 degrees. And you could see at 45% relative humidity, our air temperature will feel like 80 degrees. When you get to 65% relative humidity, and that's just the ratio of basically how much moisture is in the atmosphere, at 65% relative humidity, our air temperature will be a few degrees, it will feel a few degrees warmer in the low 80s, and then 75% relative humidity, it will feel like the mid 80s. And then now we change it up to 86 degrees for a high temperature. 45% relative humidity will feel like 87 degrees. When you up that to 65% relative humidity, our temperatures will feel like the low to mid 90s, and then so on and so forth. 75% relative humidity, it will feel like 97 degrees. And then lastly, 92 degrees, we start to see those triple-digit heat indices, which is what my forecast high is for Wednesday and Thursday, which is why we're talking about this. So with an air temperature of 92 degrees, relative humidity at 45%, 96 degrees is what that air will actually feel like. When you increase it to 65% relative humidity, our air temperature will feel like 108. And when you increase it to 75%, increase our relative humidity rather, our air will feel like 116 degrees. So our air temperature is what we forecast our temperatures to be, but that heat index value is really what it will feel like to you. So always on our 8 days, always on our forecast graphics, you see just the air temperature. That's why we mention a lot that heat index value, because that's what we're feeling. I know it could be a little bit confusing. And just some heat index tips. Also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Some heat index tips: never leave kids, pets, don't leave ice cream, anything in the car that could get, hurt, could unfortunately, you could lose their life. You don't want to ever leave a kid in the car. You don't ever want to leave a pet in the car. But just don't leave things in the car you don't want to get damaged, because the car heats up so much faster, and I'll show you those graphics coming up. Make sure to drink a lot of water this time of year. Jacqueline Waters is telling you that. I got my water here. My mom got me this really cool copper water. Wow, that was a New York accent. Copper water bottle that eliminates some of the toxins. I don't know how it works, but I always am drinking water. You should always be drinking water. Stay hydrated. It's good for you, and it keeps you feeling cooler. Also reduce strenuous activities, especially outdoors when we're talking about the very hot conditions and the high humidity this summer. Find shade, find air condition, AC, and wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. When you wear dark clothing, the sun basically absorbs more of that and you'll feel hotter. So just a few tips to keep in mind as we head into the summer months. Technically, we're in meteorological summer, but summer solstice is just around the corner. So intense heat in car. We talked about a little bit about this over the weekend. Oh, thank you, Betsy. I appreciate you. And I hope you're having a great day. We talked a little bit about the intense heat this weekend on Good Morning Richmond, but just to go over it again, I'll say it, people probably won't like this, but if I see a baby or a pet in the car and I know the actual air temperature is hot outside, I will go into the grocery store and I'll say who left their pet or baby in the car. And if I can't find them, I'll call the non-emergency number. Sometimes, I mean, if they look like they're struggling, I've called the police before. So I take this very seriously because a lot of, unfortunately, toddlers, babies, even pets, they die in the intense heat in the car. And you don't always think of it because we have the AC on the car when it's running. But even if you're just going into the grocery store for 5 or 10 minutes, I mean, that car really heats up quickly. So this is with air temperature of 85 degrees. You could see it right under the banner there. If you're in the car and it's 85 degrees outside, for 10 minutes, the car will heat up to 104 degrees. So that's hot. And fast forward all the way to an hour, that car will heat up to 128 degrees. And that's only with an air temperature of 84 degrees. And that's our average this time of year. So it's really important to never leave anyone unintended in the car. And even if, I mean, you just have to run in and grab like eggs or something, you never know who you might see. Maybe the cash register's down. You never know how long you'll be in the grocery store or anywhere you're running into. So always just take them with you. Even if you have to take your dog with you. I mean, some places I know don't allow you, but maybe just try to hide it. Don't take that advice from me, actually. But don't do it. So in all honesty, a lot of lives are lost because of the intense heat in the car. So 95 degrees air temperature will lead to a car temperature of 138 degrees in an hour. And then even just 10 minutes with an air temperature of 95 degrees outside, our car temperatures will heat up to 114. So in all seriousness, the car heats up very fast. You have black interior usually, and I mean, it's all that solar radiation is getting trapped in the car. It just heats up quicker than your outside environment. So don't leave any kids in the car this summer. Don't leave any pets in the car, and just be extra careful because that's something we could, I mean, if we pay attention, we could have no deaths in the car this year. So let's try to make that happen this summer. And to speak about the tropics, of course, it is tropical season. We have nothing going on right now, which is great because we have a lot of other things to talk about in the weather. But right now in the Atlantic, there's no wave of energy we're watching that has any potential of developing into anything tropical, which is great news. Hopefully it stays that way for quite some time. But I mean, if you remember, we are not Storm Tracker 8 team specifically, but National Hurricane Center and Colorado State University forecasting an above average year for the tropics in the Atlantic. The Eastern Pacific, however, I was talking a lot about this last week. We've been pretty active there. We are now on our D storm, I believe, because we had Tropical Storm Cosme last. So they've seen quite a few storms. We're still quiet in the Atlantic. I hope things stay that way. Of course, we'll keep you updated. But just again, I guess not again because I didn't show you the 8-day yet. It feels like a Monday out there. It really does with the weather also. So it's gloomy, it's cloudy. We had fog around this morning. We have areas of drizzle and mist. Today, high temperatures only climbing into the mid to upper 70s, so below average. Enjoy it because guarantee you, once Wednesday comes, we're all going to be wanting the 70s back. Maybe not all. I know Matty D is ready for his hot weather. Most of us will probably be wanting the 70s again. And we say with this unsettled weather pattern, the next several days, but notice there, no day is a washout. We're not talking about any major rainfall accumulations, shouldn't have any flooding concerns, but we have that unsettled weather still around. So late day scattered showers and storms tomorrow, late day hit or miss isolated stuff on Wednesday, and then late day scattered showers and storms for Thursday. That's our final system that pushes through Thursday. And then summer is officially here on Friday. Officially, that summer solstice is at 10:42 p.m. A little bit early this year because Friday's June 20th. And usually it's the 21st or 22nd. So it's a little bit early. It's just later in the night, so 10:42. And the first official summer weekend will feel like summer out there. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. I was thinking of that song this morning when I was putting in my weather words. Hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot. I love that song. But it's going to be hot as we head into the weekend. Again, triple-digit heat indices Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday and Monday. And we are going to finally see a dry weekend Saturday and Sunday for the start of June. And just beyond this, because I think I do have some more stuff. I'm just reading the comments. Oh, thank you, Anime. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're my favorite, too. Well, everyone's my favorite. I have no favorites, but thank you. That was very sweet. Looking beyond our 8-day, because obviously that doesn't go all the way to the end of June. This is our temperature outlook all the way through the end of June, so June 30th. Actually, is there 30 or 31 days in June? I don't know how many days there are in June. April, May, and September have 30 days. 30, okay, thank you. I have our digital producer, Julia, over here. So there's 30 days in June. So this goes all the way through the end of the month. I said this month was January, so how would I know? Anyways, this goes all the way through the end of the month. Above average temperatures are in the forecast. This is the trend. So this isn't what we've forecasted ourselves. This is from the Climate Prediction Center. And something else to look forward to. I started my countdown yesterday because yesterday we were below 100 days until the start of autumn. And now we're 98 days until fall begins. It's so funny because summer hasn't even started officially. It starts Friday, but my favorite season is fall. I know a lot of us love fall. And for those that aren't happy about the triple-digit heat indices and all the heat and humidity on the way, I leave you with this. 98 days until fall. We could do it. I'm so excited for it. And hopefully you are excited for some heat and humidity because that's in our forecast. But without any other questions, I don't think there's any questions. I appreciate you all for joining, and thanks for your sweet compliments and comments. And if you ever have any weather questions at all, feel free to ask me. You could email me. You could ask me on my Facebook page. And I guess in 2 weeks, we'll have our next Weather University episode. Hopefully, we'll still have nothing to talk about in the tropics, but I will probably start to do more of these Weather University episodes related to the tropics since we are in tropical season. But yeah, if you ever have any topics you want me to talk about more, I'm happy to do so as well. But without further ado, I will see you on 8 News at noon in just a bit. Have a great day.